Okay, here's a quick video on how to set up your armature bar and spring. This is something which is used to set up your armature bar and the springs. It aligns the spring and the armature bar. So I'll just quickly wear my gloves. I just use this dental sheet so that you can see the springs clearly. So these are the back springs. I've got all different shapes, and these are the front springs. There are some liner springs and some shaders as well. So the main difference how you can tell a liner from a shader is the shader spring is usually longer than the liner spring. So that's the main difference, because you want a nice give on the shader and you want a strong hit on the liner. That's why you got a shorter spring and a longer spring, because it's more flexible that way, and a shorter spring is not that flexible, it's almost rigid. So that's the main difference. And this is armature bar which I'll set up to give you this. This is the liner machine. I've got this coil machine and it's the liner. Focus. Yeah, there. And this is the shader machine. So you can tell the difference. It's the exact same length of armature bar, but you've got a different length of springs. So you got the armature bar, the back spring, the copper washer, the o-ring, the armature bar screw, and the flexible spring. So it forms the connection by coming in contact with the contact screw, and that's how the circuit is complete. That's another video where I'll explain how it works for those of you all who don't know. First, let's get back to the main topic here. This is an armature bar aligner. It's the spring alignment tool. Basically what you do is you slide your armature bar over here, you keep it, you push it all the way through. If it's not straight, you go back, see how it's not straight. The bar, you can see a little bit of a gap over there. So what you have to do is take the bar, put it all the way through. From here you need to push it. So when you push it all the way through, yeah, it's a little tight. It has to be tight. That's how it stops from moving. So you can also use this screw to act as a holding device for you to push it all the way through. Now it's nice and snug, it's flat, so you don't have to push it all the way through. You can just push it just until there, that much. Yeah, I'll show you from all different angles. Okay, so next what you do is loosen this screw. Okay, I'll take a rear spring, I'll place it. I'll place the rear spring. So if you see over here, the rear spring is below and the front spring is above. So by placing the rear spring first, what I can do is I can take the front spring and I can slide it. But if you look at this spring, both of them are the front springs, but there's a difference. There's a cut over here and there's just a circular hole over here. What it does is this can be slid over the armature part just like that. You can just slide it and fix it. But to fix this, you need to take off this completely. So that's the only drawback. Other than that, it just works fine. You place it like this, put in the screw, tighten it, leave a little bit of a gap so that you can slide in your rear spring. So once you have done so much, you've got your rear spring at the bottom, then the armature, the front spring, the copper washer, and then the screw. So you can just give it a gentle tightening. The front spring has to enter this gap. It has to come out from that gap. Yeah, that's how it's aligned. So for that, what you do is, I'll purposely keep it at an angle. So right now it's not straight, so you tighten it and it's not straight. Yeah, I've done this on purpose just for the video, just to show how it works. So you've got this device. This is what goes at the rear end over here. You see this is protruding a little bit. So what you do is, you take the protruding end, slide it over here, align this rear spring, and it locks perfectly. Now you align this spring. I'm sorry if there's a glare. Yeah. So you align this spring and you gently push it from here, and it locks in place just like that perfectly, and it's aligned. Slide in over here and push it. Don't push it too much because this material is plastic, so you can wear out over here and then there'll be a movement on the spring. So, and at the end it won't give you a perfectly aligned spring. So keep that in mind. So once you've got all that sorted, just use one of your fingers just to hold everything in place. Take your Allen wrench, place it. I've got the wrong size. Yeah, this is one. Place it and tighten it. So even while tightening, I apply a pressure over here in this direction, so that the front spring, when I tighten it this way, it doesn't cut out the plastic from this part over here. This part, it can actually create a gap over here. So I apply a pressure using this finger. I apply a pressure and then I tighten it. Take it out. And you've got a perfectly aligned spring there. All you have to do is take your O-ring, slide it over here, fix it here. The O-ring dampens a certain bit of a vibration, but it helps to maintain that angle of bend on your front spring. So that's one thing to know. And yeah, that's about it. That's how you use your spring alignment tool to align your springs and set up an armature bar. And next video will be on how to tune your coil machines. I'll be using a weighing scale to tune the machine, so that's something to look out for. You know what to do next. Like, share and subscribe.